How do you like that, Vladimir Putin? Former engineers of Elon Musk have unveiled a new, improved rocket for the American HIMARS systems. The rocket developed by former SpaceX engineers has received technological and technical upgrades and will soon be ready for combat testing.
Experts have reviewed and approved this project. It has been recommended for further funding and preparation for production.
At the same time, the United Kingdom has announced the development of the Nightfall ballistic missile specifically for Ukraine. The UK is developing new tactical ballistic missiles that will increase Ukraine's firepower to defend against Putin's war machine. The British missile, whose name translates as sunset, will be able to reach not only the occupiers at the front, but also Moscow and many other Russian cities.
These strikes, as a rule, will be unavoidable. And if, let's put it this way, in half of the cases when two missiles are launched, one will definitely hit the target.
What are the technical specifications of the American and British missiles? Will the Ukrainian armed forces, having gotten their hands on the London ballistic missile, also be able to try out Washington's new development? And are the new long-range developments capable of influencing the course of the war? This and more, coming up, next in the Arsenal. At the moment, it is known that as part of the Nightfall project, the United Kingdom has announced a competition for the rapid development of ground-based ballistic missiles, with a range of over 500 kilometers and a 200-kilogram warhead.
Anything within a 500-kilometer radius can be hit by such a missile. Will it be able to strike targets in Moscow? At the very least, the outskirts of Moscow could be hit, but there could be other targets as well. These could include oil refineries, as well as all military-industrial complex facilities located within the missile's strike radius and also the energy infrastructure of the Russian Federation.
The ballistic missile will be designed for the battlefield with a high level of threat and strong electromagnetic interference. At the same time, the missile is suitable both for strikes deep inside Russian territory and for destroying targets near the front line.
The project is aimed at stimulating the UK defense industry, supporting innovation and economic growth, as well as strengthening support for Ukraine in 2026. Nightfall missiles will be able to launch from various platforms, firing several missiles in succession and withdrawing within minutes. This will allow Ukrainian forces to strike key military targets before Russian troops can respond.
According to the project, after launching, the launcher and crew must be able to leave the area within 5 minutes. The missile will be highly accurate. It will be able to navigate terrain without GPS, and the probable circular error from the target is only 5 meters. The British ballistic missile, however, will have a high explosive warhead, not a cluster 1, weighing 200 kilograms. The missile's flight speed is 3,000 kilometers per hour. The estimated production plan is 10 missiles per month. At the same time, and this is important, the price of the ITFO is quite low, up to £800,000 or about $1 million. For comparison, the cost of Zakata is comparable to the older modifications of ATAK-MS missiles.
There are also such production requirements that this missile should be developed very quickly, with experimental models being tested and verified very rapidly, not only at the test range, but also in combat conditions, that is, in Ukraine. As they say, we'll be testing it on Russian hides. According to
experts, given that the missile is still in its early stages, the Ukrainian armed forces will be able to acquire this advanced British development in 2027. The Russian-Ukrainian war has shown that ballistic missiles are the most effective type of missile, both for striking targets deep within enemy territory and near the front line. During the full-scale war, the aggressor has used thousands of ballistic missiles. Iskandar's, S-400 and S-300 air defense systems, North Korean KN-23s. At the same time, over 4 years, the Ukrainian armed forces only had a few dozen ATAK-MS ballistic missiles at their disposal. The British Nightfall missiles are expected to change the balance of power.
Ballistic missiles, let's put it this way, are less interceptable. All air defense systems and aircraft can engage cruise missiles, but when it comes to ballistic missiles, aircraft do not engage them. Basically, the trajectory is high. The missile falls from a great height at tremendous speed. Roughly, well, it depends on the type of ballistic missile. But the ones we use or will use have a range of up to 50 kilometers, including Nightfall. That means an enormous speed. And besides the fact that aviation in principle is incapable of intercepting such missiles, only certain, especially advanced anti-aircraft systems, are able to shoot them down.
The Americans are not lagging behind the British either. The defense company Castellon, founded by former SpaceX engineers, has unveiled the Blackbird Geo hypersonic missile for rocket systems, HIMARS and M270.
It really is being developed by former employees of Elon Musk. And here's the thing. By employees who worked on the development of engines, propulsion systems, and Elon Musk achieved, let's say, his company, his corporation that worked on rocket technology achieved outstanding success. Their systems are so efficient. The engines in these systems are so effective that the rocket actually lands itself. It returns after delivering its payload into orbit.
The rocket, whose name translates as Blackbeard, significantly surpasses the ATACMS familiar to Ukrainians in its technical specifications. Its strike range reaches up to 1,000 kilometers. In addition, there is a strong emphasis on technological advancement. The Blackbird JL is equipped with a homing head capable of striking both stationary and moving targets.
Even the advanced PRSM missile, yes, PRSM for HIMARS, which is supposed to replace the ATAS-CMS missiles, is said to have a range of 500 kilometers at most. Here they're aiming for a range of 1,000 kilometers. So far nothing has been said about the warhead. I think a decision will be made. Most likely they'll keep the warhead at least at 200 to 250 kilograms so that, in addition to its tremendous kinetic energy and impact, the missile could also deliver a high explosive effect on the target.
Another advantage of the missile under development is that the launchers are already fully prepared. It doesn't require any new infrastructure. The developers believe that the appearance of the Blackbird will take HIMARS to a new level, turning it into a strategic weapon capable of striking deep behind enemy lines. Combining long range with high mobility, unlike the British Nightfall, it's unknown whether the Ukrainian armed forces will receive the Blackbeard. Although it is precisely on the battlefield in Ukraine that the Blackbird has the best opportunity to prove itself.
Combat trials will take place in 1927 at the beginning of 1928. So here we need to look at how the relationship develops between Ukraine and the United States. If there is a trusting alliance, it is possible that these missiles will be tested in significant numbers in combat conditions, specifically against the Russian side.
That's all for now. Don't forget to write in the comments which types of weapons you'd like to learn more about. Give this video a like, and of course subscribe to our Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video.